disclosure. Sober disclosure. Breezy's a slut.
And we like it in the butt.
Are you or someone you know looking for support in recovery? Taste Recovery is your go-to directory for sober resources. Whether you're searching for treatment centers or sober living communities, Taste Recovery connects you with the right tools and support to help you on your journey. With a user-friendly platform and a comprehensive list of resources, Taste Recovery makes finding the help you need easier than ever. Start building your path to a healthier, sober life today. Visit tasterecovery.com to find the resources that work for you. Taste Recovery, your first step to a lasting positive change. Hi everyone, I'm Breezy.
And I'm Jimmy.
And we are
Sober
Disclosure.
We have Fausto.
You got it.
Well, how do you say it?
No, that was right. You got it
Fausto?
right. Fausto. First time.
Fausto. Okay, we have Fausto here, and he is our first survivor from P. Diddy parties. So he's been raped, gangbanged, lubed up, baby oiled, and he survived, and he's still
organic.
sober.
It's organic baby oil.
Organic baby oil.
Let's be real.
So what is that? Spit. That's organic.
Deep,
That's organic
deep, very
lube.
deep spit.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow, here we go.
He knows. Because if you get gagged, the deep spit comes out.
Yeah.
So it's not spit anymore. It's like a jelly.
Yeah, and it's pretty wild how it's there, and it's like endless. It's crazy. Endless.
So
Just
you've
like your
never
prostate.
been on a podcast like this before. Oh my god.
I mean, I can't disclose, right?
And I see you're married.
No, I'm not
Who
married.
would marry? Oh.
It's a whole other story.
Wait, you have a ring.
So when I first got sober,
You married yourself.
no.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
it's because when I first got sober, I put it on because I was like, I'm fucking codependent.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna put it on to keep people away, and then if I start doing this, it's because I'm seeking attention. But then the sick side of me was like, I'm also gonna let people know I'm not married, so they know I'm not married, so then they can talk to me still.
Oh, we got a real sick one.
Healthy, and sometimes not.
I was trying to think how that went.
Okay, Fausto, how much time sober do you have?
It's 7 years.
Oh, just like me.
Oh.
2017.
2018.
So you just got 7.
I just got 7.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Very cute.
So I'm older than you.
Yes.
Yes. Remember that. Remember that.
I'm older than both of you, so.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Oh, that's
Hey.
true.
That doesn't count. It's a whole nother topic.
What, the women don't count?
Whoa!
Is
That's
that what we're getting at? You're fucking leaving.
You're always gonna do it. No, it's not that.
This is not DGEI, whatever it's called.
What is that?
DG?
DG?
I don't know what that is.
Is it?
Okay.
Keep going.
Anyways. So, is this your first time getting sober?
It was my first time, I would say, trying getting sober in a program. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know what AA was or rehab.
Okay. So, how did you end up here?
I saw a fireman go to AA on a TV show.
Shut the fuck
Yeah,
up.
literally
A
rescue
burning
me.
bush.
And it was like, I need to go.
I need to go.
Literally, I was like, oh yeah, AA, that one TV show I like, he goes there. I guess I go there. That's literally how I knew about it.
Wow.
So then you looked online. What did you do?
On my phone.
On your phone.
I was literally walking on downtown Fullerton, pulled out my phone and went, AA meetings near me. Oh, Fullerton Alano. Tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. I guess I'm going there.
Nice.
Wow.
Literally, yeah.
And then you never relapsed since?
No.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah.
So you detoxed yourself and it was just through...
I mean, I didn't know what
AA.
detox, I didn't know any of these terms.
Yeah,
You know? I
yeah.
just thought you suffer in your room,
Yeah.
paranoid and like hiding from the world.
So true.
What, your drug was meth?
So cocaine, alcohol, but then meth always came 3 days into the binge.
Yeah. So all you had to do was eat and sleep.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
why. So I never had the
That's
physical
easy.
withdrawals,
Gotcha.
all that stuff. It was just sleep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you went to an AA meeting,
Yeah.
but before we started this podcast, you said you didn't get sober your first year through AA.
No, I did. That's what I said. I didn't know anything about it. I just
Oh.
literally went, I go to AA. But the day before I went to AA, I posted everything on Instagram and Facebook.
Oh, saying that you were going to get sober?
That I'm a drug addict. I was raped, molested. Dad's a narcissist. I tried killing myself. I think I'm stupid, ugly, all that stuff. But there's purpose to your pain. That was literally, and then the next day I went to AA. Yeah, that's why when I went to AA,
He reminds me of my brother,
The one I met?
Adam.
Yeah, Totally. I love that.
Yeah.
So you just were like full steam ahead because do you think that it was because you went viral? Did that video go viral? Is that what happened?
No, it was. I had a spiritual experience this day. So when I hit my rock bottom, that's when I tried committing suicide. I was having 3 to 5 grand mal seizures a day. Mom had cancer. You know, I never talked about my trauma.
Yeah.
And so my rock bottom was so dark. And I reached out to a buddy of mine because I'm a street magician. I love David Blaine. I love magic. And a buddy of mine went to prison for making Porsche cars disappear. He got so good.
Really?
Doing magic. So I'm like, that's cool. Right? I'm like, that's pretty rad. So he came to my restaurant that I used to work at, and I remember he was saying how he's a changed man now. Yeah. So I just hit him up. I didn't know who to hit up, but I just said, I'm gonna kill myself. I need help. Told him everything, and then
including your trauma.
Including my trauma.
And that was the first time you ever told him.
That's kind of like a sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a sense. And then what he did was, I'm not a religious person, but he read like the Bible to me, and what I got from it was God gives his strongest battles to his strongest warriors. And so my brain went, wait, did I go through that because I was strong enough, not weak, to help out people? Whoa. And so the perception brought relief. And then, I don't know if it's a spiritual experience, a perception thing, but for me, I've never heard that concept. Now you hear it everywhere, but like at that point, I've never heard it. So I had an emotional feeling of like freedom. Like I drank for the first time, it felt like that freedom. And so that's when I went, whoa, what's this feeling?
Yeah.
I want this.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I guess I got to figure out how to not drink.
Yeah.
And that's why I looked up online. I'm like, oh, a TV show, AA. But I already posted everything because that emotional feeling, I was like, I got to tell the world.
Yeah.
Because I'm supposed to help the world. My mind was saying that. Yeah. Because I've always been like that as a kid. Like I want to be a superhero, help the world. So that's why I posted everything online. And then I went to AA.
What?
Yeah, that's literally like how it happened, just like that.
Do you feel like that kept you accountable though, that all these people online knew now that you were going to be sober? I've always wondered that, like, because I feel like a lot of times people judge people who go online and they just share everything, and they're like, what is the purpose behind this kind of thing? But it's maybe not necessarily for you. It is for that person to just get it out, and then, okay, now I have all these people watching me and I need to be held accountable for my
I mean, I have ADHD, so I learned what works for me is if I tell the world, I'll stay accountable. That's how I am able to combat my ADHD, right, and fall off. So it works for me. It doesn't work for everyone because it is a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And I felt the pressure after my first year.
Yeah.
When it got real, like, oh crap, this is like forever. I'm like, damn, I want to go to a Diddy party. You know what I mean? Like, damn, I can't now. So it worked for me in that way. I don't recommend it for everyone because it could put you in a prison because people are watching.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
and people are mean.
Yeah, people are mean. I mean, I don't judge naturally, but I like to kind of watch and observe and see how I go, that's not going to work. And then it does. And I go, I know it.
Yeah.
You know, I got the new boyfriend. Look at me, girlfriend. They're kissing it every day, every photo. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then 3 months later, single life.
Quotes.
Screw him. Right, quotes. Look, girls, well, I choose you first. And then
you can always tell when someone's going through a hard time with all the spiritual posts.
And then a week later, someone new, and you're like, nice.
Yeah.
So so that kept me accountable.
Yeah. That's very cool. So then, okay, so what was the part of your first year that really actually kept you in the program because you didn't know anything about it? Like, I feel like a lot of people, they show up in the 12-step program because somebody, recommended it to them or the nudge from the judge or anything like that. Like, what actually kept you going to the meetings?
I think a couple things. I think my daddy issues. I wanted to, I thought my sponsor was my new dad. Yeah, I really did. So like working the steps, I remember doing a 4-step at the spaghetti factory, like stoked, telling my server.
God, that's gone.
Is it gone?
Yeah, I think so.
In Fullerton? I think it's still there.
Oh, I think, never mind.
Don't do that to me right now. I was like, dude, that's an
no,
emotional
that's
place.
Still there. Yeah.
about
the actual restaurant.
Okay, yeah, the restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about that one. No, I'm kidding. Right? I know someone. So like I went to the spaghetti factory doing my 4-step and I was telling the server, look at me, I'm healing. Like, so I think it was daddy issues was what gave me the ability to work the steps like so easily. Like I was stoked.
Like you wanted him to be proud.
Yeah, like it felt good. He was telling me I'm doing a good job. I think that was the first father figure in my life that's like was like, dude, you're doing a great job. And I was like, whoa. So I
You
think
still talk to him?
he's dead.
Aww.
Yeah, he died
From the disease.
from the disease. Yeah. So, that is what made it easy for me. And then two, I genuinely love people and helping people. Always have. People used to say I'm like a therapist in middle school. So the fact that I get to go to a meeting, speak, someone says, man, dude, I can't believe you just shared that. I've never talked about it. Thank you. Oh, cool. And then it's like, I do these steps. He's proud of me. And then all the men there are proud of me for showing up every week and sharing. And so, you know what I mean? It was almost probably like my defective character my higher power was using to actually benefit me in the situation. And so it was really easy. And then the fact that when I was posting online, people from like Japan and Australia were like, brother, I've never talked about it. Thank you for sharing that. So I had so much motivation going on behind the scenes to keep on going. And I embodied that character so much where my job knew, my customers knew, everyone at the gym knew, like everyone knew. So it was kind of like I was almost like in a movie. Like it felt so unreal. And I was like literally walking around the sober guy and I'm here to save the world. And so it was really easy for me to like stick in it because I embodied that character so much.
Yeah. And it was a character.
Yeah.
So do you feel like it wasn't necessarily authentic?
It was authentic in a sense of
your intention,
my intention.
Yeah.
And it worked for me. And then down the road, I slowly had to understand I can't be that only. I don't want to be known as a sober guy only. But it took like 5 years to get to that point. But it was authentic. It really was. Like I was paying for everybody's food, driving them to meetings. I was like able to take care of my family, DJ my friends' weddings. Like it was just crazy. That's why I felt like my first year was like my sponsor said it was a pink cloud. Yeah. But it was like everything was aligning the way that I needed it. Yeah. I needed it to be like a movie. I needed to be like, bro, my 3 friends got married the first year and I was able to DJ it because I was sober. Maybe it only happened because I was sober. Yeah. Maybe if I wasn't, they would have got married. You know, my mind was like that. But it was what fueled me to do so much good. Yeah.
That's very interesting. I love that. Actually, I've never heard of someone's first year being so positive.
Well, that's why people in program that had time, they were shocked that I didn't even have a year yet. They're like, there's no way you have like 10 years. I'm like, nah, dude, I got like 3 months. They're like, how are you doing all this stuff? Yeah. And that too kind of like helped me. I was like, whoa, like, and then my brain went, I am going to change the way sobriety is looked at. Yeah. I'm going to be the main guy in the world. Yeah. It was really
there was
like
a lot of external validation. Yeah. Okay. So then what was the internal validation? Were you even focused on like
the
internally validating your own self, or was it all just external stuff because it was just fueling this persona?
I would say I wouldn't even know what internal validation was at that point. To me, because I was going to therapy, I was doing my step work, I was reading 3 to 5 self-help books a day. I went vegetarian, I was doing ice bath therapy, I was working out 5 days a week, I was running marathons, I was like everything was, so I was working on me in those ways. Yeah. But there wasn't like a conscious thing of like, am I getting validation through me? Like it was never even an aspect of it. To me, I was like, dude, I'm like living my best life. I've never felt this good ever in my life. And I'm not drinking and getting high. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
What do you feel like was was there any backlash or downfall of sharing so much of you to so many people?
No.
No?
No. I got judgment from old timers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had one guy.
That's what I was thinking of.
Oh yeah.
Which I don't like that either.
No, yeah, that was probably only the things I would run into. But luckily, I would have like other people with time being like, "Don't listen to him. Like, you're actually sharing things that people need to hear in these rooms because that's the root cause." So I would have like other people kind of support me because I would get hurt because I'm like, "Oh my gosh, maybe I am too much," or "Here I go. Am I making it about me? Maybe I'm not supposed to do this?" But I'm like, "This is what happened to me." Yeah. And so that was the only judgment I would get would be that.
And you know what? I feel like sometimes, because I kind of had some dad stuff too, and that's sometimes I didn't want to share because I felt like it was so like, man, like don't talk about your feelings in the meetings, where it's just like our thought we were here, emotional sobriety is what people takes people out. Why are we not supposed to say stuff like that? Yeah. It's supposed, you know what I mean? And it's just like, I felt like that was very like controlling and all these other things that brought up like the masculinity of like my dad saying don't do this, don't do that, and I kind of like turned me off on some meetings, you know. So I feel like that is good. Someone said, you know what, keep doing that because those people are dying with that tradition. Just kidding.
It's true.
It's very true, though. No, that's very accurate.
Yeah. Like, it's
Especially
holding-
for men. Especially for men.
It's holding
Men-
us here.
Yeah, men
You know?
have a really hard time
Really
talking
low
about their
vibration.
feelings because you're constantly said like that's not manly. Don't share your feelings.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like women do not. Like all of our meetings, women's meetings, like everyone's just crying and talking about their feelings 24/7. I almost feel like it's easier for women to stay sober because of that.
Yeah.
That would make sense for sure because you have the safe space. You're processing. You're actually, you know, healing, truly healing, while the men are healing. You're
Mhm.
actually healing.
Yeah.
Even like my following on social media, it's funny because I message everybody that follows me,
Mhm.
and it's always women. But it makes sense, and I understand that. Yeah, my audience is women because men have such a hard time thinking that this is the way a man should be.
Yeah.
So usually the men that do follow me, it's less, but usually it's more men who are more in touch with their feelings, are more sensitive, and every now and then I will get somebody that you would think would be the typical don't feel,
Mhm.
but then they're open to it, and you see that it benefits them.
That
Yeah.
turns me on.
It turns you on?
When like an inmate looking guy was like, hey, I really liked what you shared.
I think I just got turned on right now. I think I just learned something. I went, huh.
They're like, you know, I love what you shared. You know, I just, and then to me, I'm like, I just like, and then I'll like go
You pop up
home
a
and like,
boner.
yeah, I'll go home and like masturbate to it.
Right now, everyone's going, has he masturbated to me?
Yeah.
I'm going to think, is he going to masturbate
You
to
know
me
what's so
tonight?
funny?
Yeah.
You're thinking, am I going to masturbate to you?
Oh, well,
I,
I might masturbate myself and just be like, I wonder if he's doing it at the same time.
if we're looking at the same moon.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
This is, yep.
That is funny.
Fausto saw the podcast and was like, this is right up my alley.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He was like, you guys talk about weird shit? Same.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's me.
Did you do anything? Like, okay, you went through the program, right? And then
Yeah.
they suggested not to do
Of
things.
course.
To do things. Did you take anything like where you're like, I'm not going to do that?
Besides share about your trauma.
Like,
Yeah.
am I not going to listen
Like, don't like you said you were celibate.
Yeah.
Was that told to you, or you
No.
personally said that yourself?
No, I chose to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I chose to do it. So I would say the first year I was pretty good at following direction.
Yeah.
Because to me, it seemed so easy to me.
Mhm.
The only thing I would say, obviously, like I told you, I'm going to change the meetings. I'm going to do it my way. Not in a prideful way. Just in my brain, I'm like, oh yeah, just one day I'm going to do my own meeting. It's going to look like this and like that. You know?
could do that.
Right, you could do that. So I would say the only thing I did was I did date the first year after 8 months of celibacy. And I didn't tell my sponsor.
Okay.
No.
And then I called my sponsor for help after. So I did make it.
Well, how did that go?
So it was coming up on my 8 months. I went on a road trip with my buddy. He was going to do a bodybuilding show in Texas. Again, my first year was amazing. I was like, dude, I'm doing a road trip?
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I'm not going to eat for 10 days too. So I
Because
just,
he didn't do that.
no. I just, in my brain,
okay.
it was like, I think I got to fast.
Yeah.
And so.
You do everything to the extreme.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I love it.
And I vlogged it. It's online.
Yeah.
Because I shit myself. But so I'm doing this cleanse, right? And it's like, again, I'm on top of the world. We're at San Diego. We're having fun. Then we go to New Mexico, Arizona. We're doing cryotherapy. We're hiking. We're listening to podcasts. And we're on this trip and we're crying together because I found out my mom had cancer again. He's like, my mom had cancer. We're crying in the car. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Mm.
And we get back.
And you had sex.
And
That sounds.
well, he was doing a show, so we couldn't,
Sounded
right?
like Brokeback Mountain.
Right.
Oh yeah, he couldn't get it out.
Yeah.
That sounded a little, a little.
a little aggressive right there.
And then he was like, and then he bent me over.
And then that's when I threw up.
No, that's when I shit myself. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
So,
I was just picturing a muscle dude and you and
muscle dude and me.
your hairy butt. You do. I could tell a little bit.
Should I take my shirt off right
Okay, keep going because I'm getting sidetracked.
What was I gonna say? Where were we
Okay,
at?
you were.
Okay, so I do this spiritual thing. I'm all on top of the world. I get back. I win a jump rope contest in Venice Beach. So yeah, I'm one of
They do have that.
I'm one of the top jump
At the
ropers.
Muscle Beach thing.
So
yeah.
again, in my first year, I became one of the top jump ropers in the world. My jump rope was speaking English to me, right, and not psychosis. It was speaking English to me, and then I said, the guy who made this rope, I'm gonna tell him he saved my life. He's an Olympic athlete, and guess what? I had dinner with him at Benihana's. He found me a year later, flew me out. I won these jump rope contests. It's crazy. So I won this jump rope contest. I'm on top of the world. I'm in YouTube videos now for this guy that did a jump rope for Floyd Mayweather, and I go, God, it's been 8 months.
And you're in Texas.
Now I just got back from Texas at this point. I'm like, God, I want a wife.
Yeah.
I think I've been doing pretty good. And keep in mind, these 8 months weren't easy.
Yeah.
I had women from my past that I had crushes on all of a sudden come back in my life. And they're like, you look so amazing now. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, sobriety's awesome, right? Like these women are coming back in my life. But I knew when they would start drinking in front of me, I was like, oh shit, if I hook up with them, I'm going to relapse. So I had challenges.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm a codependent. I naturally want to be in a relationship. So I had women coming in my life, but I had the strength to like, you're drinking. I don't want to do it. So I noticed I was changing. But at 8 months, I got lonely and I said, God, send me a woman. So, you know, I go
Just like that.
So I go to AA meeting that morning and guess what? There was a girl I've never seen before. So you know that's a sign from God, right?
Oh,
I've never seen him.
Mm-hmm.
So this girl's there, tattoos, right? I was like, wow, tattoos, that's a sign. And so all of a sudden I sit in my seat like this. Open discussion. I'm like, me.
Raise my hand.
Like I'm ready.
You're like, I was molested.
Oh, he's so vulnerable. So what ends up happening is this is so messed up. She gets called up before me, right? So I'm like, it's all good. So she goes up. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna listen. And she starts crying, and I'm like, what's happening? She's like, my dad's a vegetable. He got high, and he's a vegetable for life. So, you know, it gets all serious. And, you know, and I get serious. I go, oh, shit.
Yeah.
So I go, okay, Fausto, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Come on, don't get her number. Don't do that. You're right. So I still go up and share, of course. Kind of lie a little bit, you know, a little Hollywood version.
Yeah.
You know, God showed himself. He was white, black robe, green eyes. For real, I saw him. You know, a little lie, you know. And then after the meeting, Fausto, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't pray for her. That's how you're gonna do it, right? Pray for her. That's good. So I go, hey, what's your dad's name? Can I pray for you? She goes, of course. And then I go, you have Instagram?
Oh.
She goes, yeah, I do. And I go, oh, whoa. And she like rubs against me, and I'm like, holy shit, sobriety's awesome.
Yeah.
This is God.
Yeah.
She's making a move on me. So, you know, I get her number. And then all of a sudden, she's living with me a week later.
Oh my God. How much time sober did she have?
I think she had 3 months and I had 8. So, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
They're both under a year.
Yeah. So
You're not a total predator.
I'm not a 13-stepper, okay?
Yeah.
I'm a 14-stepper, but that was in my 3rd year. And I'll teach you the 14th step later. It's real.
Okay.
I created it. Oh, that was a wild year. So then, you know, we run a week later. And again, I'm in this place of like, dude, sobriety's awesome.
Yeah.
This girl's smoking hot. Because I think I'm ugly. That's what I battle with. So to me, I'm like, whoa, sobriety's awesome. I got a hot girlfriend and she's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she's in recovery. Oh, she has a sponsor. So, you know, I was like, this
and
is
she's
it.
going through trauma, and I can save her.
First of all,
Yeah.
stop trying to read my thoughts. You know, Bill and Bob, and then there's Fausto.
Yeah.
Right? So she moves in, but then after about 3 weeks, it kicked in. I was like, holy shit, like, I'm not liking this. I don't like how this feels. I feel like it's more anxiety, and I'm getting like more like I don't like how it feels. And I was like, crap, this is what they're probably talking about. Don't date someone the first year. So I call my sponsor, and I'm like, oh, I didn't listen to you. I'm dating this girl. I don't know what to do.
And she moved in already.
She moved in already and all her stuff.
1 week.
And my mom likes her. And I
1
met her
week of
mom.
dating.
And I met her
Just because
mom.
your mom's Mexican.
Yeah, you already know.
Oh, I'm going to have grandkids.
And so after about a month, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, dude, I am fucked.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to break up. I've never broken up with a girl. I've always been with like narcissistic women, and I always get cheated on, and I stay in it because I don't think I'm good enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? So I'm trying to find the right way, when to do it. I'm like, I'm not trying to do it in a bad way, like just disappear. I mean, I can't. And she lives with me, so I'm like, that's another thing. She has nowhere to live. What do I do? But you know, I came to that point, like I have to do this, and so she got baptized. And I thought, this must be the best time after she gets out the water. So as soon as she gets out the water, I'm bringing it up with you. I'm bringing it up with you. Just like that. I didn't know how to say it. I was like, I'm bringing it up with you. And then, you know, she moved her stuff out. Luckily, she went with her aunt. It was a very weird experience, you know, a very weird exchange. But I had to not go back on my word because I just wasn't going to work. And so that's how that worked. And
Did she stay sober through that?
I don't know. I tried making amends to her when I was 3
like,
years sober, and she said that. Yeah, she said that. She said, "Fuck you," and I just said, "I get it."
Yeah.
You know.
Well, at least you tried.
I tried, and then after that, I went back to celibacy again for like 3 months, and then I was on my amends, and there was this one girl I screwed over when I was, I think 20. So this girl I dated for like 3 years, super toxic. She breaks out with me, and so you know I do the poor me. And I meet this girl, and again, I'm always a good-hearted. I meet this girl randomly. She's super cool, and I'm like, oh crap, this is cool. Like, I think I found a new girlfriend, right? Very innocently. And she was like, you know, I don't want to get hurt. I'm like, I'm not gonna hurt you. I wouldn't do that. And then a month later, she's finding her friend likes my friends. So we're all hanging out. My mom likes her. My sister likes her. And she's like, you know what? I'm ready. And I'm like, sweet. That night, my ex hits me up.
The same girl?
The ex-girlfriend. This is in my addiction.
An ex from your addiction.
Because I'm going to make an amends to this girl, right? So I'm talking about this girl I met at 11 months sober. I'm making amends to. This is what I did to her. Okay. When I was 20, she's like, I don't want to get hurt. I'm not going to do that. She says, I want to be your girlfriend. I'm like, yes. But that night, the toxic ex-girlfriend that I had at that point hit me up. And because I'm codependent, I went, yeah, come over. And we hook up. And then my ex was like, all right, you going to post about me? That we're together? Yeah. So I post that night, me and her in my house. Of course, the girl sees it. I delete her number. Like, I don't want to talk to her. I'm so scared to face the reality. And so in my head, I know I hurt her feelings, and I totally just ghosted it. You know, and I didn't talk to her from that moment at 20 years old. And I'm at 26 years old now. It's 11 months sober. And I remember, like, I couldn't find her online or nothing. In my head, I'm like, she must hate me. Maybe I'm blocked. Maybe she moved. Like, how have I not run into this person in the city? So 11 months sober, I see her walking to the gym. And I'm like, and I'm on my amends at this time, so I'm like, oh crap.
This is time
this
to
is
make
the time.
the amends.
And at this point, I'm like, again, oh my God, what do I say? Don't say you're sorry. You got to just say, I did this shit. I'm a piece of shit. What can I do to make it right? Okay, say that. So she walks in. I overthink it. So she goes to the bathroom. So I'm just standing by the bathroom like an awkward person. I'm like, oh. So I'm pretending I'm listening to music, waiting for it to come out. I'm like, oh gosh, you got this. I think this is how you move your head to music, right? And then she comes out and she has headphones on. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was a piece of shit. I told you that one thing I did to you. I was so fucked up. Blah, blah, blah. She goes, Fausto, is that you? I go, yeah. She goes, holy fuck. Hold on. I just smoked a joint.
Oh my
This is a lot. And I'm like, does that mean you forgive me? She goes, stop. We were kids. Like, it's all good. And so then I experienced the miracle in the first year. Amends are awesome. And then all of a sudden we were talking, like everything was cool. And then I was like, we should get coffee sometime.
Oh no.
Again, innocently. Because remember, I never make the first move.
Yeah.
Never. So it's always innocently. So we go get coffee. We're laughing. I'm on this high of sobriety. Like, sobriety's so cool. She puts her hand on my hand. So I go, and this is all in my head, right? Wait, God. Is this how I meet my wife? I make amends to this girl that I heard in the past. We're going to do, oh my God, this is crazy. This is so cool. Sobriety's awesome.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, you want to go on a cruise? She goes, yeah. So I bought tickets for a cruise. That was going to be like 2 months after that. But then I take her on a date to Laguna. I get a nice beach on the sand because that's me, right? I'm a novelty again, right?
You're in a movie.
I'm in
Everything
a movie.
is a movie.
A movie. So I get the hotel on the sand, Long Beach, music, everything perfect, and we have sex. That's my first time having sex sober.
How was it?
Ever in your life?
It's to start.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've been in a long-term relationship, so I'm having sober sex after. But to start, never have.
Yeah.
So we have sex.
Was it good?
Well, this is what happened. So,
I want to know.
I'll give you better sex stories. Okay, I got better ones. We'll go in detail
No,
about
but I
that.
want to know about the first one.
This one.
Oh, so the first one. What happened was when I was having sex.
Was she high?
No.
She smokes weed.
This one, no. This one is.
Oh, this is. I thought she went like this to your hand,
Yeah.
and then you invited her on the cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was smoking weed in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I know, but-
She's a normie, but
Yeah,
she's not
yeah,
smoking
yeah.
weed in the scenario.
Okay.
Because she knows I don't. So she's like, yeah, I respect
Oh,
that.
okay.
Oh, okay.
And so we hook up, and what happened was this. I'm not saying it was bad. I'm not saying it was good. It was different for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost like it didn't feel right.
Like there's no connection.
Because of that. And that's
Yeah.
when I discovered that. Because at first I was like, what's happening? Why doesn't it feel right? Like, I went, oh no. And then again, I went, oh no.
You're like, am I gay?
No, I've already got past that one. That was a thought for my whole life. Sometimes it sneaks up. Huh. I'm something. Huh.
Does it have to be labeled? No.
No. I'm into things. So
Oh my God.
Holes. You're into holes.
No Sharpies
that's getting boring.
and fingers.
That's getting boring too. Whoa, right?
Oh my! Never mind. I'm married. Sorry.
I'm into that billionaire stuff now, right? I'm kidding. Right? So what ends up happening was I feel that emptiness, right? But again, I don't know what's happening. So I just remember after that, I was like, oh crap, no. Am I going to hurt her again?
Yeah.
I was like, no.
You got scared.
Yeah, because I was like, no, like she's happy. I hooked up with her. How fucked up is that? I'm literally going to disappear again?
Yeah.
So
Because you don't know how to deal with your feelings.
I don't know how to deal with my feelings. So what I do is we hang out again, we hook up, and it's still there. I'm like, crap. And I was like, you know what? Just keep on going. We got a cruise. She says, hey, I can't make the cruise. I'm sorry. I got to go see family in Mexico. And I'm like, well, there's no refund. And she goes, it's fine. Just take someone else. So I go, okay. So out of respect, I'm like, okay, I'm ahead of my guy friends because I'm not going to take another girl. But all my guy friends in recovery all have legal charges. So they're like, I can't leave the country. And I'm like, damn. So then I'm like, crap, I don't want to go alone. So innocently, this is a true thing. This is true. Innocently, this girl from my gym hit me up on Instagram because I posted everything on Instagram.
Yeah.
And she's like, hey, like, I saw that you're in recovery. That's really cool. Meditation. I have some questions about stuff I'm going through. And I'm going to help everybody. Like, I didn't care. That's how I was. So I was like, yeah, let's meet at the gym. So we go to the gym, we're talking, and she opens up about stuff. She's like, I never told anybody the stuff about my childhood. And I was like, wow, you trust me with that? She's like, well, I see how you talk. And so I said, let's do an inner child meditation to help me heal my trauma. So we did a meditation. And then about a week later, I gave her some work to do, like a 4-step type of thing, because I read different books. And she was doing all the work and showing up. And I was like, dude, this is cool. Like, I'm helping out this person. And so then last minute, I couldn't find any guys to go with me. So I went, I wonder how cool it would be for someone that's trying to get sober, like curious, to be like, I'm just going to gift you with a free cruise. Because I'm not going to hook up with them. Like, I won't do that. I got boundaries in helping people. So I go, hey, you want to go? And she's like, you serious? I'm like, dude, you're crushing. You're doing all this work. Like, why not? I have no one to go with. It's cool. So we go, and she was stoked, and I had a great time. We didn't hook up nothing, a great time. But then a part of me was like, I never had that much fun with a girl. But I was like, nah, like, I'm just talking to this other girl. But then that other girl never really hit me up. And maybe I could have reached out more.
Because she probably went to her therapist. And they're probably like, stay away from this guy.
Till this day, I don't know, because it gets even weirder. Watch, it gets weirder. So then the part of me does it, well, she's not hitting me up, so I guess I'm just not going to hit her back up. Maybe that's how I kind of do it. Like, I didn't do nothing wrong, then she's not talking to me either. And so what ends up happening is I'm helping out my friend. I was like, crap. I was like, kind of catching feelings for this girl. I'm like, she's not in 12 steps. She's someone I'm helping. I was like, let's just see what happens. And so I really prayed. I was like, God, I was serious. Like, if you want this, you got to prove it to me. And I told her to do this thing called the silent retreat that I do, where I don't talk for 3 days and you have cards. So again, she was just cool because she's like, I'm down to do that. I'm like, really? So she did her own, and I would hold on to her phone for 3 days. So I don't know where she's at. And so I go meet with my friend in recovery at the Night Owl, and she's there. And I'm like, she can't talk. And I'm like, what the hell? We're at the same place. So in my brain, I'm like, that's crazy, God. Okay, it's coincidence. And then another thing like that happened too, where it was like, all right, God, if this is like, maybe I'm overthinking, because sometimes I'll think girls like me and they don't. You know what I mean? In my head. So I was like, I'm not gonna read into it. I'm not gonna say nothing. And then she messaged me the next day. She's like, hey, Tony, I think I'm catching feelings for you. And I'm like, Okay, and I was like, okay, and then another thing that happened was when my friends met her, they're like, dude, she's really cool. Like, she's good people. Like, she's just like you. So I was like, and she was consistent, everything very professional, had her own place, good job, everything. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna ask her. Let's just see what happens. And so we kissed, and I was like, that felt right. And I said, hey, can we take it slow? And she's like, of course, we can take it slow. So everything just felt natural, right? And so when we took it slow, I felt connected. I was having fun, and we hooked up. And I remember I was nervous because I was like, oh no, what happens if I get that same feeling? And I didn't. I felt connected.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. I was like, well, because we've been hanging out first. We're having fun. We're talking deep conversations. We're up till like 4 a.m. every night at our house talking, this deep talks and reading books together. And she did the social media stuff too. So then, so what ended up happening was that's how that one started. It was very innocently. And that's how I got my first girlfriend after my first year.
Damn.
Yeah.
So you never spoke to the cruise girl ever again?
So funny story, about maybe 6 months into dating my girlfriend, I see her Instagram and I'm like, hey, do you know who that girl is? She goes, oh, she's one of my clients. I go, that's the girl I was talking to that I didn't go on the cruise with. She knows I'm on your Instagram, so she knows I'm your boyfriend, and she went to you for personal training. She's like, what, are you serious? She goes, dude, that girl like loves me to death. She's always like talking about me, shows up to every session and always wants to work out. And I was like,
enemies closer.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
So
That's a small world.
So I went, I don't feel as bad now.
She's fine.
Yeah.
She was fine when you were 20 and she's fine now.
Yeah.
That's a badass bitch right there. She don't need no man.
That's right.
Okay, so what I want to ask you is...
I also want to know the 14th step.
Oh, after, yeah. Okay, so you always... Okay, would you say this? You always go into things without, like, kind of like on a whim. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm similar to you, where I have a gut feeling, but I go, but I never, like, play the tape out. Just like we're saying with the relationships, you just go and do the next thing. And then what clicked for you in that time where you're like, I'm going to take it slow, did... Like what you said with this girl, God, is this one for me? You guys, it was like all like God shots in a way where you're like, oh my God, everything is lining up for me to date this girl. Yes. Even though it's not your wife or your long term. Right. In that moment, what made you slow down? Because you're crazy. You're fucking crazy.
No, we're just at the surface of it.
No, I know. So what made you slow down in that? Like, was it like a conscious decision? What was that for you?
Or was there a certain work that you were doing?
Yeah, or was it certain work that you, when you told your sponsor about the other girl, he's like, okay, this is what you need to do. And you're like, okay, I'm going to do that now.
Yeah. So yeah, it was those experience of like, I get the first girlfriend, move her in a week, and realize I made a mistake. See, because I was really working on myself. Hurt her. And then I go, damn, I don't ever want to do that. I don't want to hurt anybody.
Yeah.
And the thing is with me, like, if I'm going to do something to work on me, I'm going to do it. Okay. So I do the work. I don't want to hurt someone. I feel bad. I feel the pain. I'm like, I feel so bad. I even think about her today. I go, I feel so bad still.
Yeah.
So I feel that pain. I'm like, never again. And then, okay, I got to do more healing on myself. Let me read a book on this. Let me really understand this. I'm going to ask more questions about why we don't date the first year, even more in depth. And so when I made the amends and I hooked up and we had sex first time because it didn't feel right, then I was like, crap. I really got to look at this. And then I learned I'm a demisexual, I learned. See, because I do research. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. I need emotional and mental connection first before physical. Oh, that's cool. Now I know. I'm learning about myself this first year.
You're not really gay then, for sure.
I am curious. And so what ends up happening is then with this one, so I was kind of learning stuff about myself. So with this one, I got to go, hey, I got to take it slow. I'm a demisexual, da-da-da-da. And the cool thing I'll say about my ex was the one thing she did too, even though it didn't work out, she was very, very good at communicating things sexually. And she was very weird. You would never know that. And that made me feel safe to be myself. I would say something that I would never want to tell anyone. She's like, that's interesting. And I was like, are you serious?
She's like, you're my dad and I'm 12. Like that? Pee in my butt.
18.
Oh, 18. Okay.
18.
I don't know. I was guessing.
Pee on my face. Oh, never mind. I didn't like that one. Next. so she really helped me with me letting my weirdness come out, my goofiness, and really communicating like these words like sapiosexual, demisexual,
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
polyamory, you know, open relationships, tabletop this, you know, all this. I was learning so much.
This is all some straight bullshit.
Yeah. You know, and so I got to learn a lot in that relationship, you know, about myself. Because there was even things after that failed relationship that I learned I still missed things. So that's how I learn is as long as I stay sober, I'm always helping people. I'm always in program. I'm always going to therapy. I'm always learning that I'll learn it.
Mhm.
Just sometimes it has to happen in a way that I maybe don't want it to.
Yeah.
But just the way I need it.
I think the most growth I've ever had is I had to experience it first. Like regardless if I failed or not, like I'm gonna learn something from it. So
that was a huge one. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did you want to ask?
The 14th step.
Okay.
What is that?
So here's the 14th step. 14th step is when you're in a relationship in recovery, right?
Oh God.
12 steppers together.
I'm scared.
And you decide, you know what? Maybe we should have an open relationship, and we should have a throuple. Now this person is not in the rooms because I wouldn't do that because I was trying to keep that part out of the rooms. I want no one to know in AA that I was doing that in sobriety, right? I wasn't even telling my church. I was like, I'm not going to say that.
Church too?
Yeah.
She does it all.
So I'm not telling my people, right? So this is the 14th step. So we get this girlfriend, right? We have a throuple, and I've explored the sex world on meth and addiction. Never sobriety. I would have never thought that because I'm like, dude, I'm going to do drugs if I go in that world.
Yeah.
But, you know, I step into that world, and what made it a 14th step is, so I'm a therapist, so I understand that lifestyle to the T. It fascinates me. Weird people fascinate me, like everything.
Same.
So in my brain, I'm like,
I love it.
in my brain, right, goes, maybe I'm supposed to help people in the sex world. So I gotta live it out now in sobriety to really understand it. I'm gonna understand it emotionally because I'm gonna feel it.
Oh
So I was like reading Ethical Slut. I'm reading, you know, like the Pain and Pleasure. I'm reading all these books, right? I'm studying it, and I'm like, dude, I think I'm gonna be good at this. And I'm like talking to swingers and people, and they're like, man, you're so smart at this. You know exactly how to do it, right? You take it slow, you communicate, you break it down, you check in on each other. There's aftercare. I'm like, holy crap, I'm gonna be like the open relationship guru. My brain's like that, right? So then I'm like, wait a minute. Some people are like, yeah, partners are like, because they help you in business and spirituality. You know, there's partners like that. I'm like, I'm the spiritual one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So I'm going to take our second girlfriend through the steps. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give her a 4-step.
Oh,
that's what I'm going to do.
God.
So I'm taking.
But she wasn't in recovery.
So to me, a 14th step is when you have a throuple and you walk through the steps.
A normie through the steps. Now that is fucking funny. I've never in my life heard that.
So then,
wow,
you're not in a throuple anymore.
No.
What are you doing now?
Jimmy is so intrigued by it.
I'm in a monogamous relationship right now.
You are?
I am. Because I did that for about a year. And
yeah, I did weird shit.
And I'll tell you what, doing it in sobriety is hard because there was a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. I would go to 24-hour fitness with my 2 girlfriends, and you should have seen that. And they were fitness models. Like you look at them, you're like, there's no way. I go, yeah, both of them. They're like 10s.
Do you have a huge dick?
I got a good sized dick, but the thing is,
and your personality.
But I got a good personality, and I care. But I'm also
emotionally.
I'm very charismatic, and I know. And people, if you see me speak, like I'm very like that part about me. People love, and I'm very like I care, and I'm very smart with the body. So that's a whole nother story, dude. I'm very, I could.
That's already the clip. That's the clip right there.
That's another podcast.
Very smart with the body.
I'll cane you. I'll zap you. I'll tie you upside down. Hit you with Legos on a ping pong paddle. Hit you right where you want. I understand the idea of breathe a little bit. Now we're gonna bring it back in because if I hit you 2 times too quick, it's gonna take it away. Like I'm very.
You are 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh yeah, but the real one.
Okay.
So I'm at 24-hour fitness. Imagine that these 2 girls are both kissing me. I'm looking at all the guys and I'm like, dude, sobriety is awesome. Like this is sobriety. So there was fun parts about it, but the part that was hard was the emotional roller coaster. See, I don't have compersion naturally. Do you know what that is?
Mm-mm.
Do you know what compersion is?
No.
So compersion is where a person's brain gets turned on by their partner with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Naturally is jealousy.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that's natural. Yeah. And most people are never going to see that. They may think it. They may find out it happened behind their back, but you're never going to go watch it. Mm-hmm. And that's a different experience because there's visuals, there's sound.
And how were you in that? Were you,
I had to desensitize myself to it.
meaning you were a little
Jealous.
jealous?
Oh, I was insecure.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's natural. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So I had to desensitize myself to that. So imagine going to work trying to give therapy to clients while I'm over here going, I need fucking therapy right now for me because I'm about to see this dude fuck my girl in front of me and I have to watch and process it, understand if I feel uncomfortable. It's an insecurity and I can't get mad because I'm choosing to do this. And he doesn't look anything like me. He's taller than me and richer than me and more handsome than me.
Yeah.
So it was a roller coaster of things. And after about a year, I was like, dude, I can't handle this emotionally. It's just too much for me. So that's why I got out of it. And because I knew sooner or later I'm going to get high.
Yep.
Well, and that's why you know what's so funny? I started watching porn like that recently.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Recently.
a guy and a girl are in a couple, and then the guy gets fucked by another guy while the girl watches.
Yeah.
But I can't do that. I know that emotionally, but
Yeah.
I will watch it in
Of
porn.
course.
But I know I can't have Damon get fucked. Like, I'll go crazy. So I have to watch it in porn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I know that.
Yeah.
Because remember, when it's wrong, it feels good.
Yeah,
That's the taboo of watching it.
Yeah.
But again, watching it and doing it is two different
With
experiences.
someone that you're
Yeah.
actually in love with.
Well, and stuff like that I know will take me out.
Yeah.
Like, I can't go to sex spas anymore. Like, things like I have to just be fun but vanilla in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's true about
You know
that.
your limits.
I know my limits, and I'm in love with Damon. So, you know, that's fine, but he lets me experience other things in porn, you know?
Yeah.
And he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he watches big black dudes. I don't give a fuck. Because, I know he loves me. I'm sorry, Damon. Oh, my God. I'm sorry, Courtney. That's his sister.
Oh my gosh, she's been listening?
I think.
Oh no.
I have to block all my nephews.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
they repeat really inappropriate things.
Oh my
like
God.
this.
This was my nephew the other day, or a couple weeks ago, was like, I love meth and I love one-star motels.
Because that's what Jimmy said in the podcast.
But they're crazy. He's like 13 and he's making fun of me. And I'm like, you're blocked.
You don't realize what you're saying out loud.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was funny.
Okay, so was there anything in your first year that you feel like really impacted you that someone told you?
In a positive way?
Yeah.
Or in any
Or
way.
I guess
any
in a
way.
negative way. Yeah, we've never had someone ask that.
Well, because you can learn from that too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I would say, actually, I got something really good. And it's one of those things that hurt, but it helped me.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I probably had like 2 months sober, 3 months sober. And it happened from a normie. So I used to work at Lucky Strike at the Block.
Mhm.
And my friend was, I knew everybody because my personality, right? So I would take everybody out. And I remember talking to my coworker, and I was like, "Bro, why does everybody tell you their secrets? And you never take anyone out for drinks. You never take anyone out to eat. I would throw them parties. When we used to drink, I would give them free alcohol. I used to throw all these big events, take everybody out. They don't tell me their secrets." He goes, "Yeah, because I actually listen. You don't listen. You always make it about you." And I remember hearing that, and I was like, "Holy shit,
Mhm.
I do that, huh?" And that blew my mind because I never realized that that's why all that was happening, what I was doing, right? It comes out of because I thought I had to, that's how you make friends,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? But I didn't realize what it's actually communicating to people. So I
Mhm.
learned a lot about like what you think's helping is actually hurting.
Yeah.
And so that's what helped me actually get good at now. People would never think I wasn't a good listener because
Mhm.
people always say I'm one of the best listeners they met. But I taught myself. I bought a book, How to Listen.
Mhm.
And I read it right after he told me that. And
Yeah.
that really has made me who I am today.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So our final question is always about bringing it back to those who are hopefully listening that have under a year sober. What is one piece of advice that you can give them?
So they have under a year sober. So
Yeah.
they're in program right now, probably
Yeah.
getting it.
Yeah.
Well, I would say, your first year sober, what kind of advice I would give you? I would say, stay humble,
Mhm.
have a sponsor, work those steps, and help out people, and stay in the mix.
Mhm.
And just do that, and just ask people questions that have what you want. And if they're telling you it and they have what you want, it's probably true. So just follow order, and don't worry about being perfect.
Yeah.
Just don't get high and don't drink.
No matter what.
and everything will be taken care of.
Yeah, that's the whole point of this podcast, is that we showcase how no one that we've had on the podcast has done the exact same thing.
Perfectly.
No one has done, no one's gotten on here and been like, oh, I did this, 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 and this, and this. Like, every story is completely different, and yet we all were able to stay sober no matter what, even when we're hiding things from our sponsor.
Or thruples.
Yeah, I love that. That was such a impactful story.
The throuple one?
No.
That's what it sounded like. He said throuple, you said that, so technically they're going to think that. They're like, wow, Breezy was really fascinated.
We're going to do a throuple right now? I'm not down with Breezy. Maybe him.
Dude, you just rejected her on the podcast.
You know what? Breezy's beautiful, but I've never touched a vagina my whole life, so I don't want to do it right now.
Good Lord.
I know the process. If you need to, I know how to walk you through it.
I don't want to know.
It takes about 4 weeks. It's a 4-week program, right? I'll sign you up.
It's very hot in here.
One time I was at a strip club and a girl rubbed her vagina in my face and it smelled so bad. I was like, I almost threw up.
Ew. That's disgusting. And I hope that never happens to you ever again.
Victoria's Secret, Love Spell, and Fish.
Ew, what the fuck? Oh my God.
Oh, we're supposed to end.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways.
I thought we were just getting started again. I was like, I'm ready. Where's the weird stuff? Let's go.
I know. That's always happened. So for all of those that have made it through this entire podcast, please like and subscribe. We are on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.
And what's yours?
So you guys can reach me at on my YouTube channel, Not Your Average Counselor, where I provide free therapy, because I've been able to not only go through the pain, but I've been able to heal through it. And I truly believe those who hurt the most heal the most. And I've walked through it the healthy way. I went to school to get educated, and I helped over tens of thousands of people worldwide. So it's a trusted source to help you guys, because there's too many fake life coaches out there and healers and spiritual people.
That's true.
Amen.
And so I want to create that safe space for you guys.
And your Instagram.
Thank you so
Hope
much.
Dealer Fausto.
Dealer Fausto.
Hope Dealer Fausto.
Yeah, we love
That's
that.
cool.
All right, well, thank you for listening. I'm Breezy.
And I'm Jimmy.
And we are
Sober Disclosure.
Grapple!
This episode is brought to you by Light Salon, Orange County's premier destination for expert hair color. At Light Salon, we specialize in creating stunning custom color transformations that highlight your natural beauty. Owned and operated by a passionate, sober stylist, we bring authenticity, creativity, and precision to every client experience. Light Salon.